I've been mountain biking for many years now, and one of the most common questions I get, whether from friends, beginners, or people looking to upgrade, is, should I get a dual suspension or a hardtail? I remember facing the same question when I was starting out, and honestly, it wasn't an easy choice. Back then, I didn't have all the knowledge and experience I have now, and I wish someone had broken it down for me in simple terms. So, that's exactly what I'm going to do for you today. I'll walk you through the pros and cons of each, explain how they perform in different conditions, and by the end of this video, you'll have a clear idea of which bike fits your riding style and budget best. All right, let's start with the dual suspension or full suspension mountain bike. This type of bike has shocks in both the front and rear, which means it's designed to absorb a lot of the impact from bumps, rocks, roots, and other obstacles on the trail. When I ride my dual suspension through rough terrain, I can really feel the difference in traction and comfort. It keeps my tires planted on the ground better, which gives me more control, especially on technical trails with a lot of obstacles. Who is this bike for? Well, if you love riding rough trails, downhill sections, or technical terrains where control and comfort matter, then a dual suspension is going to make a huge difference in your experience. It's also great if you just want a more forgiving ride, one that doesn't punish your body with every bump and rock. If you're a beginner but you already know you want to tackle rough trails, this could be a great choice for you. Now let's talk about hardtails. Unlike dual suspension bikes, hardtails have suspension only in the front fork, while the rear end is completely rigid, hence the name hardtail. My very first mountain bike was a hardtail, and even though I now ride both types, I still have a soft spot for how simple and efficient they are. Because there's no rear suspension, these bikes are typically lighter, easier to maintain, and a lot more affordable. If you're just starting out, a hardtail could be a great option because it teaches you to ride properly. Without a rear shock to absorb every little bump, you have to learn how to position your body, pick the best lines on the trail, and use your legs and arms as natural suspension. This makes you a better rider in the long, are you into SO if you're a beginner, or if you mostly ride smoother trails, fire roads, or cross-country routes. A hardtail might be the perfect bike for you. Now, let's compare these two head-to-head. The first big difference is traction and control. This is where a dual suspension really shines. The rear shock helps keep the back wheel in contact with the ground, even on rough terrain, which means you get better grip, especially when cornering or riding over roots and rocks. On the other hand, if you're riding mostly smoother trails or doing a lot of climbing, a hardtail can actually be more efficient. Since there's no rear suspension absorbing your pedaling power, all your energy goes straight into moving forward. That means I often feel quicker and more responsive on a hardtail when I'm riding flowy trails or long climbs. And of course, we have to talk about cost. Dual suspension bikes are almost always more expensive than hardtails. They also require more maintenance because of the additional moving parts, like the rear shock and linkage. Hardtails, on the other hand, are budget-friendly and simpler to maintain. If you're new to mountain biking and want to get a solid bike without spending too much, a hardtail is a great way to start. So, how do you make the final decision? Here are 3 key things to consider. What kind of riding do you do? If you love technical trails, jumps, and rocky descents, go for a dual suspension that if you ride mostly smooth trails, cross-country routes, or just starting out, a hardtail is probably your best bet. What's your budget? Dual suspension bikes cost more and they need more maintenance. Hardtails are more affordable and require less upkeep. What's your skill level? A hardtail forces you to develop better technique and makes you a more skilled rider in the long run. That a full suspension bike can boost your confidence by making the ride more forgiving and comfortable. At the end of the day, there's no wrong choice. It all depends on what fits your needs best. So there you have it. A dual suspension is all about comfort, traction, and control, while a hardtail is lighter, cheaper, and a great way to learn good technique. Now, I want to hear from you. What do you ride? Are you Team Hardtail or Team Dual Suspension? Drop a comment below and let me know. If you're still unsure, check out the links in the description for some great bikes to consider. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more bike tips and reviews, and I'll see you on the trail.